This is a visual novel with a unique take on a post-apocalyptic future. For this is a world where robotic pigeons have destroyed all of humanity's communication systems. A technological innovation turned tragedy when thousands died as a result of these artificial birds and their creator turning their back on humanity. And at the center of this story is one man as he vows to destroy the artificial pigeons and reconnect the world before his prophesied death. Thanks to Nekunyan for providing a review copy for me to check out, as well as bringing over a drama romance story where birds aren't real. Government conspiracy theories aside, this premise is exceptionally strong. The artificial pigeons, an invention meant to create a 7G worldwide communication network, instead started eating all radio waves on Earth. It got so bad it brought down planes in the process. Air traffic control was apparently not prepared to handle imminent flying chickens. And yet, the world still moves on. For most people, not our cast. Because no matter how many years later, you can still see the consequences. And what this visual novel does is take that and run with it, where these raw emotions fuel these characters. The main character potentially dying also helps too. Well, considering the name, the future radio, and the artificial pigeons, there's a lot more to the story. On the anniversary of his parents' death, our main character Sora visits the abandoned crash site of Terminal 1. There, he presents a gift to all the individuals there who's also lost their loved ones in the incident. An old radio. And against all odds, his radios are able to receive broadcasts. But very soon after, Sora's radio receives an ominous broadcast that states that he will die when the blue sky crashes on Earth. There's a lot of intricate moving parts to this premise, and how the story slowly feeds you key details and surprises makes for a pretty engaging story to follow in the common route. The downside is whatever isn't that stinks so bad, because 5 minutes in, I started having second thoughts about reading this.
当店のそらくん、今朝も男の茶柱しっかり立てられたかな？茶番？
For such a serious sci-fi romance drama, the most jarring thing has to be Mizuki's crass humor and whatever the fuck this is.
おな？
80% of Mizuki's entire existence is cheeky emoto gremlin energy, full of childish virgin jokes. Her tomfoolery combined with Future Radio's premise horribly clashes. It's like if you took Steins Gate and replaced the iconic microwave banana with a bad dragon dildo and made fun of the pretty color mixtures after heating it up, which is a shame, because that 20% left over, now that I can get behind. How Mizuki is positioned in the story after the ending of the common route for once finally allows her to shine. Those few intimate moments she has with Sora are solid, not only as an obligatory stepsister, but as someone who really cares for him. Because after that jaw-dropping cliffhanger in the common route, I totally get why all the heroines stopped holding back. They've come so far as a ragtag group. I can't think of anything more grander to couple anime love interests together than preventing mass death and destruction. Another trait that makes the story satisfying to follow as they team up together, which makes Future Radio's very interesting direction reveal itself as a bittersweet romance. I mean, what do you do when your man's off playing secret getaway with an innocent girl and her army of robotic pigeons, and you're left to pick up the leftovers? I feel bad for these girls. They're just not having a good time, because in the grand scheme of things, Akina and Mizuki don't truly matter. Akina and Mizuki are heroines with routes, but only Tsubaki's route is necessary to unlock Kaguya's. They're short and concise for what they want to do. That said, I'm pouring one out for Akina because I think she and Sora have good chemistry together, and her route has a nice open-ended yet meaningful conclusion. Meanwhile, Mizuki just feels like a bad ending on multiple levels, both meta-narratively and my own personal enjoyment, which just leaves Tsubaki, our young, eccentric professor, ex-demissive ice queen, and the person who was Hazuki Izana's right-hand woman, the partner to the inventor behind the radio-eating pigeons. It's a rather complicated situation. Tragic backstories and characters smoking through multiple boxes a day seems to be a common pairing nowadays. Here, Future Radio continues the ongoing problem, as our main couple here lick each other's wounds in the process, while also perfectly capturing my biggest issue with the visual novel. Yes, Tsubaki is a romanceable heroine, but it comes off feeling forced and rushed. In general, all the heroine relationship development feels hollow at times. On paper, you can see the logical progression of the couple's relationship, much like a checklist of necessary steps, but I can't genuinely feel the emotional weight as hard as it should be. The story needs more intimate bonding scenes, more practical investment in showing their chemistry and eventual love, which is disappointing because I recognize these big climactic moments. That big moment at the end of Tsubaki's route is pretty amazing situation-wise. I should be emotionally moved but it just doesn't hit. Love in 2061 is built different, it seems, and I couldn't be any more truer than in Kaguya's route, a poetic case of how the lead duo are connected in more ways than one. Sora and Kaguya are on opposite sides. Sora, the boy who vows to destroy the artificial pigeons, and Kaguya, the girl who loves the artificial pigeons. A rather ironic meeting made even more amusing as this innocent girl, the daughter of Hazuki Izana, states that she won't let him die. There's an intriguing thought in Future Radio about who should take responsibility for the pigeons. Obviously Hazuki Izana, but considering her passing, who's left to deal with the consequences? The guilt trip is deep, and it's understandable how intense those emotions go as the bigger picture is revealed. But it also shows the most important part as they come to realize the truth. For while an individual's efforts are flawed and misguided, it still shows how strong their motivations and intentions are. The Future Radio and the Artificial Pigeons has some very particular issues in the romance department, but its core as a sci-fi drama that tugs at your heart will still land as a satisfying story. 3 out of 5. If you enjoyed this review, I highly recommend checking out Cyanotype Daydream, The Girl Who Dreamed the World, a visual novel by the same developer that fully surpasses Future Radio in every possible way, both in story quality and emotional feeling. I would also like to thank everyone on Patreon for supporting me and helping cover visual novels. You guys are fantastic, and if you'd like to be a part of that effort, please consider subscribing to my Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.